friends with Snoop Lion. So that's a very interesting fact to go with it. He was a USC player, and it was big news when he switched to Oregon. But
in that recruiting world, guys that have been switching from USC, there's a reason that Sarkisian has to go in here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you have guys, you have to lock them. USC lost someone that was really surprising. Yesterday between UCLA and UCSB, during the basketball game at halftime, they brought the whole football team onto the floor. They rang victory bell. It was a great celebration, but Jim Moore was not there. He said that he was recruiting in Northern California. If you connect the dots, 5-star running back Joe Mixon recently posted his top 4 schools. He tweeted his final 4 schools. He's a guy from Oakland, California, in Northern California. UCLA, Cal, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma are his final 4. So his other offers included Ohio State, Notre Dame, Florida State, Clemson, and Georgia. He turned them all down, and he turned down USC, but not UCLA, and that speaks volumes.
All right, now we're going to move on to something I know a lot of people care about this time of year. It's the Heisman. We are looking at a very interesting race going into this year, and it's changing every single week. It seems like it's a very interesting race this year. You have 3 players who have said to have locked it up at some point during the season. Mariota was said to have locked it up at the point before Stanford. After that, everybody thought Manziel had it. Now Jameis Winston looks to have it in the bag, and the only thing there's 2 things that can stop him. 1, the law, if he gets convicted, and 2, if he has a very, very bad game at Duke. But those are the only 2 things that can stop him from being the second freshman in a row to win the Heisman Trophy. It should be very interesting. In the ESPN Heisman poll, they took all 16 ESPN experts who have Heisman votes. 16 of them voted Jameis Winston first. After that, Jordan Lynch is easily second, and the running back out of Boston College, Andre Williams, who burst on the scene, had a very bad game against Syracuse. He got knocked out against Syracuse, but he is still sitting third, then A.J. McCarron's fourth. Those look like the players who have a possibility of going to New York. This will be a very interesting thing. Winston is definitely the easy favorite, but as long as Lynch doesn't lose that game, and if Winston fails against Duke in any way, Lynch could sweep in. Jake, I know you are a very big supporter of Lynch. Tell us why Lynch should win the Heisman.
Well, first I just want to explain that. Listen, we've been disproved 3 times before this season. Nobody has it in the bag. If you check out HeismanPundit.com, a great website when it comes to Heisman, you have people coming out saying, they're already voting for Jordan Lynch. The prosecutor in the Winston investigation has promised that he's going to be really thorough. Anything could happen there. One writer in Alaska, who's also a Heisman voter, said that this is not the time to give the Heisman to Winston. So this is still wide open.
And I think here's the thing with players. Heisman voters may want to see his character, so it could be that he doesn't get convicted, but something comes out in the investigation that could easily change some Heisman voters' minds. We've seen things sway Heisman voters, but also we should note Cam Newton was not when his father had tried to get money out of Mississippi State. Cam Newton still had no issues winning the Heisman, so it depends on the situation. But Heisman voters have been known to overlook certain things like that before.
Here's the thing. With Lynch, there are certain things that fit the Heisman mold. You look at what Heisman pundits call the 10 Heismanments. First thing you see on the 10 Heismanments, the winner must be a quarterback, a running back, or a multi-threat athlete. It does not get more. If dual threat truly is the new sexy fad in football, it's true. It's true. It is the 2013 version of what the Wildcat was 5 years ago. It's certainly not in a blunt way. It's a very blunt way of putting it, but it's true. Jordan Lynch is number 3 in the nation in rushing yards, and he is a quarterback. He has won games. I don't care who he's playing. He has taken Northern Illinois single-handedly and put them on the map. We care about Northern Illinois now. That is worth a lot, in my opinion. I don't think anyone has ever gone 2,000. And I believe he is like 250 or so yards on the ground away from rushing for 2,000 and throwing for 2,000. He is going to have a statistical feat that nobody else would have done.
Not even Tebow.
I know the competition isn't as good, and I know that he was dismantled by Florida State last year in the Orange Bowl, I believe. However, there is no way around saying that Jordan Lynch has performed better than anybody else this season. Can you honestly tell me that Jameis Winston was better this season than Jordan Lynch?
I cannot, and that is why if I had a Heisman vote, I would be voting for Jordan Lynch right now. Alright, we have been spending a lot of time. We have spent 21 minutes on news and such, plus Heisman stuff. We're going to move in to the games of next week. Starting off tomorrow night, you have Louisville taking on Cincinnati. Here's the deal with this game. Louisville is at 19. So it's very unlikely they're gonna need a lot of help to get into the BCS. It looks like this is gonna be a very interesting game. Teddy Bridgewater's final regular season game. Then we have the MAC championship game. Friday, Bowling Green goes into Northern Illinois as Jordan Lynch tries to take his team through an undefeated regular season and maybe even win a Heisman.
Oh, Carl, can you do me a favor? I've just got one last thing to advise me. It's your show. If you'd like to move on, that's fine. But there might be an interesting little nuance here.
What is that?
One of these laws says that dual threat quarterbacks must produce at least 35 yards of total offense. Has he done that?
Yeah.
Okay. 35 combined touchdowns.
I do not know exactly.
To the internet.
I'm already on it. I was already on Northern Illinois' team page. Jordan Lynch has produced 42 touchdowns, 20 on the ground and 22 passing.
Check. Alright. And a QB rating of 140 or higher.
That I will need to check into more.
And a TD to interception ratio of 4-1.
I believe he has that. That would shock me if he didn't. Let's go into full Jordan Lynch stats. 146-yard passer rating, and the interception to touchdown rating is just over 1-4.
4-1.
Yeah, shush. I said interception to touchdown, not touchdown to interception.
Yes. Well, there you go.
So, by Heisman Pundit's own rating system, Jordan Lynch should have a Heisman.
No. However, the Heisman straw poll has taken 10 Heisman voters anonymously, and as of this week, Jameis Winston is first with 24 points. Second is Jordan Lynch with 18 points. 7 first place votes for Winston, and 3 for Lynch.
So here's the deal with this. It's it's going to take some help. Lynch is going to need some help to win the Heisman. But if Winston is not great, and Lynch is, it could change some things. Alright, let's talk about Bowling Green. I know it seems odd to talk about Bowling Green and Northern Illinois, but we kind of have to, because it's a very big game for Jordan Lynch. And as you can tell, we care about Jordan Lynch very deeply. This is a Bowling Green team that has had a very interesting season so far. They are 9-3, 7-1 in conference. They lost by a bunch at Indiana, but they beat UMass, so that must mean a lot. They lost to Mississippi State by 1 and Toledo by 3. And all this means is Lynch is gonna beat them. Alrighty then, Jake, I'm assuming you have the same pick.
It's gonna be... Jordan Lynch is gonna have. This is his time to shine against Bowling Green. Here's what I want you guys to do: hit up Carl's page or hit up my page or go on Twitter. #lights camera maction.
Oh, Jake getting into his action. How nice. Alrighty then, we're going to move on. Oklahoma facing off against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State looking to lock up a BCS bid with this win. Do you think the Cowboys pull it out against the Sooners?
Yes. I think they will. I think that they have the momentum. They'll come through.
Alright, I'm going to agree with you on this one. I don't think the Sooners win this one. Alright, this is a game, I'm not actually sure what we're talking about it, but it's a Conference USA Championship game as Marshall takes on Rice. Both 7-1 in conference. Both 9-3. Could be a very interesting game. I take the Herd.
The Thundering Herd?
The Thundering Herd of Marshall.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get up here and pretend I followed the Conference USA with rapt attention. But, you know, they actually have a lot of bowl ties. They have 6 bowl ties. New Orleans Bowl, Military Bowl, Beef O'Brady's Bowl, Heart of Dallas Bowl. The loser of this game is going to the Hawaii Bowl. The winner of this game is going to the Liberty Bowl. If this is me, I am throwing this game.
Very nice.
Telling you wouldn't want to go to Hawaii?
I'm saying that's a very good strategy.
And the payout is $750,000 for each team. So no matter what happens, it's $750,000.
I'm not gonna say throw the game, but I'm gonna say Hawaii sounds like a very nice thing right now.
Don't
All right.
The game, but fine. I do have to give you the pick. I am going to say Marshall because I love their name.
Yeah, we're not Conference USA experts, but we hate to admit it. Alright, this is actually a surprisingly big game. SMU takes on UCF, who is 16. They are 10-1, 7-0 in conference. Their only loss to South Carolina in a very close game that they could have won. SMU is 5-6, looking to become bowl eligible, and 4-3 in conference. UCF needs to get in. UCF is in a very difficult situation right now. As it looks, they're going to have some issues with BCS bowls and such. It's going to be interesting how UCF plays out in this. But I do see them winning this game, and I do see them ending up probably 15th or so. But still, they're going to end up making a BCS bowl on AQ, and they're going to probably end up losing a BCS bowl.
You know, there is somebody to watch for SMU. Linebacker, number 27, his name's Miles Crosby. You want to talk about people you have respect for? This guy was a former male model. He had actually, their model rankings, apparently, he was the 11th most successful male model in the world. He turned down 6-figure contracts from modeling agencies everywhere to follow his true dream of playing college football, and he's followed through with that. So Miles Crosby is currently playing at SMU. But in football, it's not all just about having good looks. But UCF looks good when they play. So I don't care how chiseled their jaws are, they have been able to carve themselves a very nice record here, and I expect them to continue.
That was a very, very special metaphor for the situation. Alright, moving on to a game that's worth way more than it should be. Texas is playing Baylor. 25 Texas at 9 Baylor. If Oklahoma State loses, then the winner of this game makes a BCS bowl. We could be looking at a 9-3 Texas making a BCS bowl. I would be tightly terrified.
I want to see Texas play against Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl. I think that would make everyone happy.
I think that would make everybody in the world. That would be a great matchup. You know what? It's very interesting how BCS bowls work. But Baylor still has a shot at a. I mean, they have a strong shot at with the number 9 ranking. They could still pick up a excuse me